Hello, this is Ian, Somerset News Network. My sign's just falling down, and I'll pick it up in a minute. Anyway, what I want to talk about is Palestine. Now, they've been fighting for thousands of years on this one piece of ground. Basically, Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. Now, it was, before the First World War, part of the Ottoman Empire, which is basically Turkey. After the First World War, it was a French protectorate, and I think it was called Palestine for 6 years. Wasn't Israel? My grandfather was based in Egypt in 1923. I got photographs of him. He was with the RAF. Anyway, the Palestinians and the Jews and the Christians have been fighting over this region for thousands of years, since basically the birth of Christ. Now, there happened to be, before the birth of Christ, as far as I understand, I'm not a biblical scholar, but there was two brothers, and they fell out, and that became two different factions of the Jewish faith. Now, one of the factions then ended up in around 300 AD being Muslim. And they wrote books and the Messiah and God. And then it was changed. And they rewrote the book. And then you have the modern Quran that they use today. The old original Quran was burnt, scrapped. They scrapped everything. I'd like to know what the original Muslim Bible was. I'm not a scholar, I don't know. But this is only going on information that I've picked up over the years. Now, during the Second World War, Hitler used foreign mercenaries. One of his mercenary groups was Muslim, and that was part of the original PLO that had the West Bank. After the Second World War, Israel took over the centre, and you had the West Bank that was Muslim, and then you had Gaza. It was not Palestine. Palestine had finished. It was only lasted for 6 years. But the PLO was the Palestinian Liberation Army, or organization, PLO. Arafat. I think it was Arafat's uncle, if I remember rightly, who was the head of Hitler's Muslim battalion. If I'm right or wrong, put a note down below so we can all know. Within the Muslim faiths, you have different factions. Now, when we fought Iraq, we were fighting two different factions. One of the groups supported us and the other one didn't. Sunni and Shia. Now, one of my customers was one of the sects, I can't remember which one it was, but he went to the mosque in Bristol and was ousted and now has to pray at home because he was a different sect and they pray in a different way. So even the Muslim faith is divided. Now, from what I can gather, Hamas in Gaza is not the original people from the Israeli area. They look black. They look very dark-skinned. More North African Muslims than Asian Muslims. Or Arab Muslims, I should say. And it's a terrorist organisation. Now, for this government to recognise Palestine that does not exist is illogical. West Bank of the Jordan runs down the eastern side of Israel, and you have the area called the West Bank, which is mainly Muslims. But it's now called the occupied area because the Jewish people started building houses there. Now, Gaza's got its own problems. They were building tunnels and headquarters, and the Hamas are a terrorist group. So by our government recognising Palestine, they recognise Hamas. That's bad news. But then once again, it's the tyranny of this Labour government. They think that at the next election, to get the Muslim vote, they have to support a Palestinian state. And a Palestinian state, according to the people in the West Bank and Gaza and Hamas, is to remove the Jews from the river to the sea. And that's from the River Jordan on the east coast to the Mediterranean on the west coast. They want the Jews gone. We've given the Jews their homeland. And this is all started, and all the battles are started. And this is being used by the New World Order, WEF, to supply more guns and bullets to make more money. It's not done to save people or for good politics. It's all done for power control so the big boys can make money. And that's all it is. And Starmer is not working for the interests of this country. He's working for foreign powers. The quicker we get him out, quicker we get a Labour government, quicker I think it's going to have to be reform. Although I've got reservations about reform, I think we're going to have to vote reform. Anyway, Ian, bye-bye for now.